Okay. Hey, y'all. Live. Welcome from today. I'm in sunny California, Long Beach. Usually stationed in Charlotte, so it's nice to have a change of scenery. And we've got amazing things today. So, in addition to doing our Freedom Fridays exercise, we're also going to do our monthly reflection. So, I had that started last night. um I started going through and I was like, we're going to need some more time. And I didn't really promote it well. So, you know what? This is being okay with the messy middle. Us Black women do not have to be perfect. We don't have to have everything right all the time. It is still going to be okay. So instead of yesterday, we're doing it today. So that I can let you know, like, this is going to be the monthly reflection. We're going to do it every month on the last day of the month at noon. So regardless of whether that falls during the week or on the weekend, it's going to be at the last day of the month at noon. It took me a little bit to figure that out. So if you need that worksheet, that is going to be at monthlyreflection.yourdreamstrategist.com. I believe I put that in the description, but if not, I will go back and double check after I've finished doing this live recording. But again, that'll be at monthlyreflection.yourdreamstrategist.com. And if you're new here, this Freedom Friday session is all about setting your next week up for success. So, what does that mean? Everything on this channel is about moving from this workaholic mentality where we prioritize work over everything, where we're using work to prove who we are and our worth, and saying to hell with that. We're not doing that anymore. We are already worthy. We already have so much value to give. All we have to do is show up and give it and spend the rest of our time living our best life. Let's actually prioritize that. So, if you've had a hard time doing that, like me, that means that there's some mindset shifts, there's some behavior shifts that we have to make, and there's some intentionality behind that we can actually do. So that's what I've been doing and how I've been shifting my life. And I share that with you guys so that you can do it with me and we all could be living our best life. So, in this session today, we're going to spend some time celebrating our wins from this week. Then we're going to actually set up our schedule for next week, making sure that we not only have work scheduled, but we have fun and rest scheduled in there as well. And then we start working on winding down for the weekend. Now, since I'm in on the Pacific Coast instead of the East Coast, my little wind down session will still happen. It's just going to happen later. Well, that's not true. Honestly, since everything's been shifted, I've been working a little bit earlier. So I'm saying my wind down might look a little different than normal, but the whole point is that you're winding down on Friday so that on Sunday you're not in this chaotic, oh my gosh, the week is starting. Am I prepared? Do I have everything I need? Because you've already worked all of that out today so that this weekend you can separate from work and actually enjoy it. So I hope that gets you excited as excited as it gets me. Now, fair warning, I am at my lovely friend's house. She has a lovely puppy named Bruno. He might come visit during this call, and you might find that interesting, and you might not. Either way, it's going to be a fun time for me. There's also a lovely cat named Hamilton. I've been calling him Hammy. I just think it's really cute. So he might come visit, and then she might walk by as well. So all the friends might participate in the live today, and that still makes it amazing and fun. All right, that being said, let's go ahead and jump in. So today, as we're choosing our wins, that's where we're going to start. So if you haven't done this already, make sure you go to my website, go to freedomfridays.com. And that's a lie. That's a lie. freedomfridays.yourdreamstrategist.com. And you can download the worksheet that we're going to be going through together. So the first section of the worksheet is about celebrating our wins. And that is what we're going to do first. Now, usually Mimi and I just kind of talk through it because Mimi's usually on the call and maybe she's running a little late, but either way, we're still going to do it together. So what I'm going to do, I want you to see, I'm going to work through that on the worksheet today. So you're going to see me doing that on the screen. I'm going to give us just about 5 minutes time to work through or to write out a couple ones from the week. You are welcome to share that in the comments of this video. And you don't have to be live to do this. If you're watching this on the replay, maybe you love the idea of doing um your setting up your schedule on Friday, but you can't do it until after work, or maybe just Sunday is a better day for you and you'd rather do this activity on Sunday. You can still do all of that and still share all your wins. I still want to celebrate you because you deserve to be celebrated in all the baby steps that we do. So don't feel like, even if you're watching this as a replay, you can still share all of those things with me. So yes, I'm going to work through it on here and then I'll share my wins and then we'll move on to the next exercise. So let me see. Let me get that set up on my screen here. And guess what, you guys? I finally figured out how to do music. Let's see if it works today. Don't judge me if it doesn't. All right. Okay, let's try. So we got this here. Oh, and that's sharing the wrong screen. Oh, this is sharing the wrong screen too. Let me, chords galore. That's the beautiful fun of not being at home, like all the stuff, but you kind of forget how you set it all up. Here we go. This is only going to take a second to get connected. iPad, there we go. Here we go. Okay. So when you go into your worksheet, you go on to page, of course I copied the wrong one. That's fine. I will just erase it. We're going to be working on this first section up here at the top. And then you can let me know if you have any thoughts, questions, and definitely let me know what things you're celebrating. Okay, let me get the music started. And I'm going to give you until that timer goes down. Sound effects. There we go. I believe this is going to work. All right, while that's getting set up, I'm going to go ahead and start writing out my wins for the week. Okay, we got just about a minute left. Okay. No, pause that. Oh, pause. Stop. Here we go. There we go. All right. So, some of the wins that I had from this week, I made it to LA. Yay for that. That is a lot of fun. I used to live here in LA, so it's been a while since, oops, wrong screen. It's been a while since I've been here, but it's been really nice to come back. The first night I got here, or the first morning I woke up and the sun was rising, and I got to, it was like the sun rising over the palm trees, and I was like, yes, this is, evidently I really love places with palm trees. I don't think I realized that as much until I got back to LA this time around. So that's been a lot of fun. Other wins for this week, I'm really excited that I got that music set up in here. It's been a couple weeks that I've been working on that, trying to figure out how to make it work. So I take that as a win. I had quite a few wins today. Um, let me see. I met my water goal multiple times this week. Even though I've been traveling, I actually been getting more steps while I've been gone at home since my treadmill at home broke, and I haven't figured out my new situation for that yet. So yay for getting on my 10,000 steps. It's been a really big win for me to maintain my sessions while traveling. Um, I think I just wrote that down as a video idea. A lot of people are like, yes, be a digital nomad, but there's a lot of things that you're balancing and juggling when you're moving to new places all the time. And I actually think it's a lot easier to do slow travel rather than just bopping around one week to the other. So I'm really excited that I've been able to maintain my schedule. I might not be as on it as I usually am, but maintain my schedule while I've been traveling. So that's been good. It's been really good to catch up with friends. And I was very excited that I still got my short scheduled for my vertical content scheduled for this week. So a lot of times I talk about us creating this work less, live more lifestyle. And I think that, there's a way to do that where you become a business owner, but you don't actually have to be a business owner. You could still work as a corporate professional, and maybe you work remotely. There's other ways to do it other than being an entrepreneur. So, learning to maintain those habits and routines and also jump around and doing those things, but it's more about being intentional about how we create our lifestyle freedom within that. Not everybody feels like it's freeing to travel all the time. I know one of the women that I work with, she's like, that would be miserable to me that I have to travel every other week or so. So this again, yes, I'm talking about it from the context of I like to be a digital nomad, but I'm not saying that's the only way to create lifestyle freedom. It's about you deciding what lifestyle freedom means to you, writing that out, and then starting to build your life around that rather than just picking up what somebody else has said your lifestyle should be about. So, yes. So this is what lifestyle freedom looks like for me, and it's always a good time that I can come hang out with friends or family for a week or two or a month or whatever, to catch up and be with them. So I'm enjoying it. All right. So now in this next section, we are moving on to setting up our schedule for next week. So you are going to take the next bit of time, co-working time, to look at your schedule from last week and see what things did you not accomplish, or last week meaning this week that we're currently in. What things did you not accomplish from this week, and making some decisions on how you're going to move forward with them. So that is going to be in the next page in the workbook. Okay. Oop, that's here. So that'll be this next page here. And so you're going to use this first page to create a list of all the things that you didn't accomplish for the week. And then in this next page, you're going to decide, what are you going to do next? Is it important and urgent? So that means you need to schedule it immediately, or is it not important and not an urgent and you just do later or maybe even delete from your to-do list? Maybe it was a nice to have. Is this something that you can delegate or is it something that you just need to reschedule for next week? Those are the kind of decisions that you're going to be making in this time period. So make sure that you're pulling out that list so that we can get to scheduling in the next one. I'll go back to that. All right, I'll put the music back on. About halfway through the time, give you a little time check. Okay. So while that's finishing up, if you are new to this, here's a couple things that I want you to think about when you're doing this exercise. Um, In addition to looking at what things you didn't get to finish from last week, because we've already celebrated the things that you did accomplish. So I hope you gave yourself a round of applause for that. But if there's things you haven't accomplished, know that that's okay. Sometimes we overestimate how much time it's going to take to do something, and we overestimate how quickly we can finish it. So the practice is that every week when we do this, we get better at understanding how much time it takes to do stuff and giving ourselves some grace about how much time it takes to do it. And if it needs to be extended in time, that's okay. The other thing is, it might be that it was not a priority. You kind of had something on your to do list that was a nice to have. Please do not feel bad for deleting that. Until I started doing this on a regular basis, I was a habitual overbooker. Like, I always overbooked myself. I always felt like I can get more accomplished. And it was actually not very kind to myself, because it made me feel like I was always behind, made me felt like I was stuck. And the truth was, it wasn't that I was just being unrealistic with myself. And then being unforgiving with myself on top of that. So I hope that this helps you to recognize if you have any of those habits, and that you can grow from them and move forward. And my practice, this is all about personal growth and then lifestyle design. Sometimes we can try to push ourselves to be this imaginary version of who we think we should be. But let's actually be intentional about letting go of the shoulds and actually being who we are and growing from that, and actually giving ourselves some grace. We do not have to be superhuman to show up and actually impact the world and be amazing humans. So let's just be who we are, right? That's actually great. We do not need to be perfect. Okay. So as you're scheduling things out, make sure you keep that in mind and be realistic in the objectives that you're setting for yourself. Also knowing that if you have time to do more, you will, but if you don't, that's okay as well. Okay. All right. So we just finished that time of, I'm going to turn the music down while we switch into the next section. So now we just finished that time of deciding what are the things that we need to schedule in our calendar for next week. So in this next section, you're actually going to set up your calendar. Now, the way that I do that is I use a program called Sansama, because it allows me to keep track of my time and energy budget, in addition to my life systems that help me make sure that I have regular rest and fun and time for work, all a bit automated. It's a lot easier to keep your work life balance if you have life systems kind of automated into how you operate on a daily basis. So we have that as our baseline, and then we're adding in the weekly objectives and things that we need to accomplish on top of that. So I'm going to do that in Sansama. You can do that in your calendar, or you could do it in your physical planner, whichever way works best for you. You want to be using this next 18 minutes of time to set up your schedule for next week. Also, and this is so huge because it gets you out of, hi man. Bruno came to hang out with me. This keeps you from getting into decision fatigue. A lot of times, part of what keeps us from getting things done is that we get to that schedule, that time in our schedule, and we're like, well, wait, what the heck am I supposed to do right now? What is the most important thing for me to do? Because we're spending this hour of time recognizing what is most important to be accomplished on what time and what day throughout the week. When it gets time to do that thing, all we have to do is show up and do it, and that simplifies everything that we have to do throughout the week. So keep that in mind when you're setting up your schedule for the week. So as I said, I'm going to do that by just setting this straight up in my daily calendar, which is Sansama, and I'm getting it loaded right here. Let's see. All right. Oh, there we go. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and set up. Oh, not sure what this. Ah, what is that? Ah, I know what it is. It's playing on another window. I'm so sorry. My live is playing in a different window. Okay, now we're back to normal. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and get this scheduled right now. And if you have any questions, go ahead and drop them in the chat. I am happy to help you think through how to operate or make this work. Well, let's do this, okay? I'll put the music back on. All right. So moving on to the monthly reflection. The main goal of this is to do two main things. We want to reflect on how well our month has gone, and then we also want to make any pivots that we need to make so that next month can be just as productive, if not more productive. And so all the questions that we're going through here are about doing some reflection and then actually making some adjustments to do that. So the first question, how much progress did you make on your power move this month? I want you to think about your power move as what was your focus for this month that was going to be a game changer that's really going to help you keep moving forward. So you want to this starts with the review. Obviously, you're going to have created your power move first. And so by the end of this worksheet, you will have created your power move for next month, okay? So you can 1 to 10 as far as the stars go. 1 meaning that you've made no progress, 10 meaning that you've actually accomplished the goal, and anywhere in between is that you're still working on it, but you're really close or however you want to assess that. So then what doing or do more of to actually achieve that power move. That's what you're going to put in this first block. And remember, all of this is about reflecting on how well you've made progress. We've been in this vision board series where we've taken all of this time to review our 10-year vision plan, evolve it, review our goals from last year, create our theme for this year, create our 2024 goals, and now we're finally moving into this place of creating our vision board. It would be a shame to do all of that work and then don't have any checks and balances to help us make sure that we're moving forward. So doing your monthly reflection is a way to help to make sure you're connecting back to your vision board for the year and your goals and making sure that you're making progress throughout the year, okay? So is there anything that you need to do specifically that you need to specifically stop doing that's inhibiting you from getting to that goal? You want to take some time to think about that as well. Then in the next one, just as we talk about, our weekly wins, think about your monthly wins and how they relate back to the big goal the vision that you're accomplishing for this year and write those out as well. Celebrating our wins are so important because it takes what we do on a daily basis from being monotonous to actually seeing that we're doing amazing things, that we're doing a lot of things, that we're making a lot of progress and we're moving forward. And we need that to help keep our motivation going. So spend some time doing that with these questions. And then are the wins connected to our goals? Sometimes we get a little distracted and we work on different things that are not what our actual priority. So I want you to take a second to assess, have you been working on your actual priority based on the wins that you've accomplished? And if you haven't, just make a tweak. This is not a place where you beat yourself up. It's okay to say, "Oh, I didn't even recognize that I wasn't connecting those dots." And you can make adjustments and keep moving forward. So those are the next two questions. Then moving into the next page, how have I showed up this month? This is more about a personal assessment of you. We are not doing goals just to, this is less about um what's the word I'm looking for? This is not about proving that, getting to the next level or anything like that. This is about, am I showing up in my most authentic, my best self? And taking a step back and looking at, well, what does my best self look like? And have I actually made sure that I'm living from that place rather than, again, just going day to day? So the way that we do that is first looking at what are our values and are we living fully into those values? And then what are the character traits that we want to be known for? How well have we lived those out for the month? And then are we feeling fulfilled? If we're not feeling fulfilled, is look at how your level of fulfillment is compared to how well you've been living out your values and your character. If it's on the low side, maybe it's because you haven't been fully people pleasing. Could be because of being stuck in workaholic tendencies. It could be a lot of these different things. And we can make tweaks to push those things aside because all of those things are grounded in things that you feel like you should do. But let's put those shoulds aside and to actually just show up as who we are and make space for that. And we can be intentional about that by asking these questions and reflecting on how we've done that this month. All right, so now you're analyzing your life systems. Those are the systems that when you use your time and energy budget through my product, the Anti Superhero Toolkit, where you decide, what has worked. Are my routines working for me? Are my habits working for me? Are the different things that I've set up to keep me on track working? And if they are, great, let's keep doing them. If they're not, is it something that maybe we just need to tweak how we do it? Or is it just not a system that is actually applicable to where we are in life right now? And if it's not one of those, that's okay. Get rid of it. And if you do need to continue doing it, keep doing it. But again, this is about assessing and being intentional so that we're moving forward with things that actually serve us and getting rid of things that don't serve us. All right. Go to the next one. What's going on here? There we go. Okay, so then also tracking our progress towards our goals. Again, we've chosen goals. We made them smart when we chose them for our vision board, our annual goals for the year. Now let's track our progress towards actually accomplishing those goals. How much progress did we make? Is my approach to accomplishing this goal working? Why or why not? What kind of pivots do I need to make in order to get back on track? Those are the kind of things that we want to be assessing as we look at our progress towards our goals. And then once we do all of that reflection, now we have the data, now we have the clarity, the understanding that we need so that we can make decisions on how we want to intentionally move forward with moving better, moving forward in a better way in this next season. So now we're actually getting to the point of choosing what's our next power move. So based on the power move and the progress that you've made in this past month, what is the next step that's going to get you closer to that primary goal that we chose when we did our when we did that creating our goals for 2024? So what's the next goal, the next big step, the next big milestone in getting us to that goal? You're going to put that here and then you're going to write, how are you going to measure that you're continually making progress? Remember, if we don't decide how we measure, then we're actually just flailing in the wind. We can't tell if we've made progress or not. So making sure that it's measurable is super important. And then how can I make it work better? Or is this a system that I need to get rid of? Um, Again, that comes back to assessing our systems. If we had any systems that we decided weren't quite working or we needed to tweak, we're doing a final assessment and updating that. Whether, so for me, I would be updating my systems in Sansama. So, however you manage your systems, whether that's in your planner, in your Google Calendar, maybe it's recurring tasks in your calendar, you would need to, if you're going to maintain that system, keep it going. If you decided you don't need it anymore, make sure you go back and delete it. Okay. And then this is where we're making all adjustments to those places. Is your time and energy budget still good for you? What adjustments do you need to make to your recurring tasks in Sansama if you use Sansama or whatever program you use? And then what are the 3 steps you need to take to achieve this primary goal? So if your power move for this month is to save $500 this month, maybe the next 3 steps that you need to do is look at what are the bills that you have coming up for this month, update your budget. Maybe you're going to take redistribute money from fun time to your savings, but you're looking at what are the main things that you need to do to accomplish that next power move, and you're writing it down here and then scheduling it in your calendar so that excuse me. Scheduling it in your calendar so that you make sure you do it. And then once you get that done, you've finished the monthly reflection. You've now set your next month up to be so much more productive because you've taken the time to reflect on how much progress did you make and how do I want to intentionally make progress moving forward. So that's how we're going to be doing our monthly reflection every month. So I look forward to doing that with you next month. So next month, we won't do this in the exact